Alright, for the auto tuner, or the smart tuner is called, I have to take the head pipes off, drill out the oxygen sensor, tap it for a bigger oxygen sensor, which are located right there, both sides. So I gotta take all this stuff off, plus get the head pipes off. Right now I got 6 screws for the shield. There's 2 there, 2 there, 2 there. I've already started them. To help save a little time. So they're already loose. I'm going to try and do this one-handed. If you don't have one of these trays make things nice. They're magnetic. Of course, some of these screws aren't. You don't want to mess up these bolts either. The 2 that go behind the air cleaner, them cost $1.95 each. There's 2 of them. Whoever changed out the air cleaner the last time either cranked too hard or didn't use the right Allen head to get the bolts out, so it screwed it up. So I put 2 new ones on. One thing you may want to do if this is gonna take you a while to complete is get some Ziploc baggies. Write the name of what the bolts you're taking off and where they come from down, so when you go to put it back on, you won't forget. Okay, and I'm gonna set this down and get the shield off if it'll come off. Alright, shield just pulls off of there with them 6 bolts. You gotta do is just pull it right off. So now I'm gonna figure out where I go from here, and then I'll be back. Alright, gotta take the mufflers off first. Looks like there's a big bolt here. There's also going to be one down up under here. Right there. Also we're going to have these 2 bolts here, one in there, one in there. And each one are the same. So once I get the bottom level off first, then I'll be able to take the top level muffler off. I'll go ahead and get these loosened up off the video, and then we'll show them taking them off. Alright, catch up with you in a few. Alright, I'm back. As you can see, I've gotten the clamper on the muffler loosened up on the top. I haven't got the bolts on the bottom. Remember I said earlier about them air filter bolts cost me $1 a piece? Well, here's one again. As you can see, I didn't get it in there all the way. I don't know what happened, but usually I'm pretty good about getting them in there. And it rounded it out, so I had to get that out of there. So that's another bolt I get to replace at probably $1.20, who knows. So I'm going to try and slide these off. Or at least the one, and then I'll get them other 2 bolts, and then we'll slide that one off. I don't know if I can do this by myself, one-handed. Oh, it looks like I'm getting there. Now I gotta take the other bolt out by hand here. There you go. I loosened it up earlier. So I'm just grabbing it from the back here to hopefully rock it back and forth. Let me put this down, maybe I can get a better hold on it. It's taking a little bit, but it's coming. Kind of wiggle it around here. I got it about a ½ inch. It's about ready to come now. ½ inch, 3/4. Whew. Oh. Get out of the way. Alright, I'll figure this out and get back to you. Get the top one off yet. Alright, I'm back. I thought they would come up from the bottom, but they come up from the top. There's a bolt here, and then there's a bolt right over here where my fingers were. These are the bolts that come out of there. They come up from the top. They're 3/16 Allen head. They're soft on the heads. I don't know why, but it looks like I've even twisted these up a little bit, and I know I was seated in, so I don't know what gives. Anyways, we're gonna pull this one off. I'll try to leave the video running as I pull this muffler off again. That's as close as I can get you, and you're not going to see a whole lot probably, except for hearing me grunting and groaning. That's coming up a lot easier. Kind of shake it around and around a little bit until it comes off. It should come off pretty easy. So much easier to come off. There we go. Much easier. Alright. So that one was pretty easy. So I seen where a guy on the internet had taken just his mufflers off while he waits for his to come back coated. And I'm going to do a decibel check to see how high the decibels it is on my cell phone. I'm going to open up the garage door. Get my decibel meter open here. You can see we're raining outside. Alright, I tested this before. Here's my decibel meter on my cell phone. It's fairly accurate. At idle, it was 90 decibels on this meter with the mufflers. So we're gonna fire it up, see how it is without them. Give me just a second here. I expect this to be pretty loud. Hopefully my neighbors won't get too pissed. It's only about 6 or so. That little bit took it up to 123 decibels, so I'm sure that's not going to be something I want to ride around like, although it is impressive. That's what it should sound like. Alright, I'm going to kill it. It did sound better though. Holy crap, did that sound better. Let me shut the garage door here. Ooh, them pipes get hot quick. Holy moly, them are hot pipes. Well, I guess I just set myself up for a break, but you know, I wanted to get the decibel reading on what they were without the pipes, so, or the mufflers. Well, now we know. When you rev it up, I'm guessing if you were going to go at highway speed, you'd probably be at 130 decibels or more, because I was just sitting here and revving it just a little bit and it hit up to, I think 123 was the highest, but as you can tell, I wasn't getting into it very hard. So anyways, I'm going to stop this for now, let this pipe cool, see if we can get these head pipes off so I get this oxygen sensors out and get ready to start boring the oxygen sensor holes for the new I can't remember what they call them, but they're some type of oxygen sensor. I think it's open band or something like that. Anyways, I'll get back to you guys in a little while. Alright, I got one oxygen sensor out before I remembered that I need to show you guys how to do it. I don't see here if I can. Right there's where the front or the back oxygen sensor hooks into that deal there. There's a little button right here, so when it's in there you just push this button here down and then it'll pull out. Real simple. And then once you got that undone, you just unscrew it out of the hole. It's a 14mm wrench is what I use to pull that out, and just kind of unwind it, roll the wire with you as you're trying to loosen it out of there. You won't have any problems. The other one which as you can see connects here in the front, but the connector for it is right there. I don't want to shine the light too much on it, but so I gotta figure out how that unclips out of there. So you're seeing it as I'm seeing it for the first time. Guessing it's probably going to be on top. Anyway, I'm going to get this unplugged. I'll do this off camera, of course. I'll try to remember to explain if it was on top. I'm pretty sure it must be on top, that it unclips out of there. We'll find out here in just a few. I'll get back to you. Alright, as you can see, I got it unplugged. It was actually on the side. It sat in there like this, and you can see from here on the outside. All you got to do is push this down and then slide it back, and it'll pop right out of there. Let me get the 14 here. 14 millimeter. Again, once you got that loosened up, you can turn it. You'll see the wire will want to turn with it. I can't hold the camera and do this. I'm gonna have to shut the camera off while I do this. Sorry guys. Alright, that was easy. I got that out now. So what I'm gonna try to do, and it's probably not the smart way to do it, I'm gonna leave these covers on here if I can, and I'm gonna try to get these nuts off of there, and this one up in here. I think I got two here, one right there, and there's one right here on the back side here. I'll probably have to use a universal socket to get them out. I haven't measured or haven't figured out what size them are yet, but we'll get them off, and hopefully I'll be able to pull them off all in one piece. Get back to you in a few. Alright, so I'm trying to get these header bolts loose, or nuts off. Right now I gotta take this oil cooler off, or at least get it to move so I can get to the last one. Looks like you got a T27 Torx here. You gotta loosen off. Start with that first. Okay, it just kind of lifts up. You can see there's two deals here, and they see this black peg right here, this thing here, where my fingers are, there it is. You can barely see in there. It pulls up, pushes up, and then up, or I guess it pushes back and then up, and then it pulls out. Guessing that's going to loosen it up. May have to lift it up. We'll see here. Oh, maybe there's a screw there I got to loosen up as well. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. I'll see what I got to do here. Shouldn't take me too long. Alright, so there was a Torx screw down here, up here. And my flashlight here. See where there's a rubber mount there. There was also a rubber mount that goes down in there. I lifted it up so I could pry this out a little bit, just enough, not a whole lot, so I can get into that bolt. 13 millimeter to get the nut off. I used a long extension with a deep, well, I call it a medium socket. It's a 1/4 inch drive socket, 13 millimeters, so I use 3/8 to 1/4 so I can use a medium depth socket. And then that come out, so now all I got to do is take the other 3 out that I've gotten loosened, and hopefully I'll be able to lift this sucker right off of there. We'll see here. Let me see if I can do some of this one-handed. Well, I dropped it. It didn't hit the table, so I know it's down in here somewhere. Right there. Oh, through here. Sometimes these pick sets come in handy. That's what I just picked that one out with. So as you can see, it came back out of there. Now I got to get the other side here. Again, we'll try this one-handed. I'm the only one here, so got to operate the camera and the tools. So we're gonna another one I gotta find. Alright, so that one was easy find. It just fell right here on the top of the tranny. If I can get these to come off of here. Oh yeah, they're loose. Set the camera over here and let you catch as much as it'll catch. That's a hole I've got to drill and tap. I also have to drill and tap them for the kit, the auto-tune kit. It's going to be a project in its own. So for now, I'm going to stop here and work on that probably tomorrow. But as you can see, they come out fairly easy. I'll have to go get some gaskets to replace them. Replace the gaskets, I guess. Oh, shit. Alright, that's it for today. Alright, so I'm kind of pre-fitting this Smart Tune, whatever you want to call it. Screamin Eagle Auto Tune. It wants it to hook onto the side of the battery cover here. Right here. I would prefer to see it with double-sided stick tape, but it looks like it wants to use hook and loop fastener to hook it onto here. Right here. Wants it to glue it, paste it on, stick it on here. Well, I got to route the ground wire, and I'm trying to figure out the best place to route it. Right now I got it here, but it needs to go here. So I'll have to pull it back down and loop it up through here. Like I say, I'm just test fitting it for right now. Make sure everything's looking good. One of the things with this Smart Tuner, you can buy it's a wire harness extender for the front oxygen sensor. I mean, come on. Here's for the new oxygen sensor. You see how long that wire is. You can't tell me that Harley couldn't have frickin' extended the wire for the front, or for the front oxygen sensor plug-in, so it feeds into the Smart Tune. That's just being greedy, in my opinion. But what are you gonna do besides undo it and rewire it yourself? And I'm not gonna do that. So anyways, that's part number for the one wire harness that you need. You only need one. That's just for the front. The rear is right there. This will be the rear one. It'll just fold right up over here, plug right in, something like that. But I've already test fitted all the plug-ins to make sure I know where I'm going. So I'll have to route this long wire and the extended wire, which is right here. This is the extension wire that you buy. As you can see, it's pretty long. So what it does is it I'll probably wire tie these both together and then wire and tie them back into here. Now, not the oxygen sensor wire, the new one, which is this one. This is to hook to where the old oxygen sensor did, which, as you remember, was right up there. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get a flashlight. It'll hook into there. And then I'll have to wire tie the wires up against the frame here with the other wires. You can see here. See that wires? I'll wire tie them into that. Simple enough. Just little bit of time. You can see I still haven't drilled the bung holes out for the larger oxygen sensors. I'm debating on whether I'm going to take that to a machine shop and have that done. I've got the tools here to do it. I just don't have the drill press. I'd have to go out and buy a drill press just to do that, and I don't use a drill press enough to do it, so I might call a couple machine shops, see what they'd charge me to do it, or let me use their equipment, which I doubt, even though I'm a carded machinist. So I'm going to end this here while I figure out what I'm going to do here. Alright, one of the steps in these oxygen sensors, you got to drill these bung holes out from the old oxygen sensors, which went here. As you can see, I've already drilled them out. Had to use a drill press. I didn't have a pair of vise to hold the mufflers in, so I held these while my wife assisted me to drill through it. Just simple as having it run and then just drilling the hole. Pretty easy. Didn't take a lot of pressure and drilled really easy. So that part's done. Now I gotta tap them out for the size of the new oxygen sensors. Now, one thing I didn't do is I didn't buy the Harley drill and tap. I didn't feel I needed it. This drill bit here is a 41/64 inch, I believe is what it required, and that's what the Harley one says. So I just bought a 41/64 drill bit. I think it was like $8, and the tap was a little more expensive. I think it was like 15, 18, I can't remember exactly, and I don't remember the size offhand. I'd have to look it up again, but I did buy the right size tap, and I'll confirm it with one of the new oxygen sensors. So you don't need to spend $400 on that Harley tap and drill. I mean, the drill press cost me, even with the drill press, buying this drill press, $159 at Home Depot. And the drill bits, I still am an easy $225 ahead of what the $400 just the drill and tap would have cost from Harley, and I still would have had to buy a drill press just to do this part. Or at least in my opinion, the drill press is the best way to go. So for now, that's going to be it. Next time you see me, I'll probably be trying to tap these holes out, and I'll be back. Alright, so here's the deal. As you can see, I got the one oxygen sensor mounted, and well, I had to take it to a shop. They cut out the old bung and welded in a new one. Here's a tap that I used, and you can see it chewed it up pretty good at the beginning stages. So when I tried to tap the other one out, we couldn't do it. That was the first one I tapped out right there. This is the second one I tried, and I just couldn't get it to bite. So I thought, well, maybe I bought too cheap of a tap. So when I took it in, they put their tap on it, and they couldn't get it to cut into the bung hole either. So they tried two different taps that they had, and it just no go at all. So they thought the second one would be okay once they retapped it, and it's not okay. I can't get the oxygen sensor to mount in there. So I'm going to have to take it back tomorrow, and they'll have to cut this one out and weld a new bung. The only bungs that I could find in stock were these from O'Reilly Auto Parts. They're a bolt nut, hex nut. Them are round. I wanted one of the ones that would overlay over the pipe, and they welded it in, but all they had was these, just the round ones. So, like I say, tomorrow we're going to take it and get this one cut out and get a new bung welded over it. This For what they did today, it only cost me 20 bucks. Shit, I got more than that in the tap and the die, or the tap and the drill bit when I want to do that. So is it worth it to do it yourself? No. Go find a shop that'll do it for 20 bucks. It didn't take them but maybe 15 minutes. So I suppose I'll probably get charged another $20 though for this other one. Which really, if they're putting the bung on there anyway, you're looking at anywhere from 5 to 15 bucks for just the bung anyway. So they're really not charging me a whole lot, and they cut it out. So don't do it. It's not worth the time and headache. Just go get it done. Much easier. Much easier. Or at least that's the way I feel. I know I won't do it again. I'll just take it for no more than what it costs. Especially where Harley's charging $400 for their die or their tap and drill bit. I can't see their die or their tap being any better. But anyways, that's my feeling on it. So I'm gonna go get this one fixed tomorrow, and we'll get her mounted back up. I got all the gaskets now and zip ties and all kinds of good stuff to get put on. All right, we'll catch you tomorrow when we start this again. All right, so I had to take the other one back, and they had to cut the old bung out, put in a new bung. I don't know what was wrong with what's the deal with the older bungs, but they are hard as hell. Save yourself a lot of headaches. Just take your pipe to a muffler shop, have them cut them out, put in these new ones that are standard oxygen sensor size. They're 18 by 1.5s. That's what these bungs are. So they work pretty good. I'm going to get this put together and get the oxygen sensors stuck in, and don't forget to use anti-seize here in your head pipes, otherwise you'll have a hell of a time getting them out. Alright, so we'll get this put together and set back on here. Alright, it's time to take the old gaskets out of the heads. So I'm going to try to do this one-handed. I use a pick. Try to get in there and grab that. Should come out fairly easy. If not, we'll just drag it out. There you go. See? Pretty easy. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get this in the camera. I try to go to the back and get a hold of it. Let it pull out there like that. And I gotta get into my parts bag here, wherever I put it. I'll be right back with you. I gotta find where I put all my parts at from the Harley. Alright, so since the last time I got on here, I got the gaskets in the head. You want to be careful so you don't crush them. Trying to find my flashlight here. Anyway, as you can see it fairly decently there. I got the one nut started. You got to get the other one between the oil cooler and frame. You got two up here. Now you torque these down between 100 and 120 inch-pounds. No, I said inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. So make sure you got an inch-pound torque wrench. They're about, I don't know, 100 bucks. Depending on where you buy. I like to buy somewhat quality, although this is a cheaper one. I got a good foot-pound torque wrench, but like I said, it's inch-pounds, and I don't feel like converting it over, and I don't know if my torque wrench will go that low. And I still, oh, there's my flashlight. So anyways, what I did is I hand tighten these up. like it says in the directions. The gaskets are fairly well squared in there. I did replace the gaskets. You see me pull them out. Of course, I did put the new ones in there already. I know I didn't show you guys that I did that, but that's how it goes. So I'm gonna steadily torque these down to 120 inch-pounds. I'm not gonna torque one side and then the other. I'll switch between the two until I get up to it. Other than that, that's about all I can say for right now. I'll get these torqued up, and then I'll start feeding the wires where they need to be. I want to get the battery put in. I'll have to program the Screamin Eagle tuner first for the open I can't remember what they call them, but anyways, it's for the new oxygen sensors. I program it for that first. Then once that's programmed, I can pull the Screamin Eagle tuner off, and then let the auto tuner take over from there. Then we'll have to run it a little bit. We'll see what happens once I get this thing going first. Alright, so let me get these torqued down. I won't record it. Just know that I'm doing it every little bit at a time.